All right, there we go. All
Awesome.
right.
Good evening, everyone. I see all these awesome faces. Just want to thank you for joining us tonight. I know there's 10 million other things you could be doing other than learning about health, but we're really excited tonight. I'm going to be hosting this call. My name is Celine Parot, and I've got my friend Valerie Miles, who's a pediatrician here in Jacksonville, and she's going to be hosting it with me. Tonight, we're going to be talking about really the healthy living revolution and how to get healthy, because we feel that good health is a priceless gift. And I hope everyone tonight learns something new that you can do that will help your life a little bit. And we always talk about one simple change, and that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Joining me tonight, like I said, is Dr. Valerie Miles. Like me, she is on a mission to inspire healthy living, and it is my pleasure to introduce you guys to her, and I'll let her go ahead and take over.
Hey, everybody. I'm really excited to see all of you. We may have a few more people coming on here soon, and if you're listening to the recording, welcome. I think that one of the things that I love about doing talks like these is how we would never meet the people that you guys know. And so it spreads this ripple effect. That's really an amazing thing, to share health information that people necessarily don't get, in their real life. And what I would love to do, well, I'll just tell you, I'm a pediatrician, and Celine and I met because she was a mom in my practice trying to keep her kids healthy. And I have a practice for the last 16 years here in Jacksonville, Florida, that's focused on integrative healthcare, really blending complementary medicine and regular medicine, really to take the best care of children that we can, because medicine and surgery aren't always the answer. And so it's really been a blessing to practice that way all these years. And nutrition is really the foundation. Without good nutrition, we really don't have our health. We may feel healthy, but we really aren't on the inside. So I'm really passionate about this education and meeting people who are really kind of in that mindset too. So let's just get started here. I want to share my screen. So give me a second. Learning this. Oops. There we go. And there we go. Good. Okay. So we are really excited to bring you this this concept called the healthy living revolution. And the healthy living revolution is really literally a group of people who are really bound together by their mission to sort of take healthy back. That's the hashtag. We really feel like it matters more than looking good, or feeling good, is important, but looking good in your yoga pants or whatever, it's like more than that. It's really like being healthy from the inside out. And the revolution part is really about not wanting to stand by while the health of our country continues to decline. We really want to do something about it. And we want to take healthy back for our own families and ourselves, but also for our communities and our work and our schools and our whole country. So it's really like whatever effect anyone wants to have, whether it's just on their own body or all the way across the country or the world, then that's what this revolution's about. So it's really kind of cool. And it really stems from this idea that healthy living used to be simple. I mean, we had a big garden. I don't know if you guys did. We planted and picked things, and we knew what things tasted like ripe. We always played outside until dark. And if you didn't come home once it was dark, you were in trouble, but don't come home before then. That was kind of how it was. So we ran and played and exercised a lot more, drank fresh water out of the hose, which was pretty fresh back then. And we kind of, rested and slept a lot more than we do today, because we don't have the kinds of things that are happening today. First of all, with food and convenience, really this kind of food is not ripe, fresh produce, but really man-made food that actually is really lacking in nutrition. And the technology is there where we didn't have that before. So instead of running outside and playing and that being safe, a lot of places in America are really safer is inside, and that happens to be in front of the TV and the video games, which doesn't give us a lot of exercise. And I've noticed in my practice that these things have become babysitters, really. It's easier for parents to sit the kids in front of the TV than it is to sort of manage them. My parents didn't manage us. They just sent us outside, and it's not as easy today. And then, instead of water, it's kind of been replaced with a lot of these drinks, and sleeping has been replaced with, trying to drive ourselves harder and harder and kind of ignore that we really need to be sleeping more. So that's kind of the situation that we're just in. That's the way it is. And on top of that, there's these really two startling trends that we're having that, I'm really much more aware of, I think, since I've been practicing in this way, and I've learned a lot about it, but a lot of people are not aware. So I just want to review really quickly. One of it is, this is one thing that I didn't want to believe was true, that the environment is more toxic now than it was when I was a child. Because when I was a kid, there was like a lot of leaded gasoline still. Well, it turns out that even though we stopped leaded gasoline, it's like still in the ground and getting into the water, which means that it's getting into all of our plants and our drinking water and that kind of thing. And so you can see all of the up arrows here, things going into the clouds. It doesn't go into the universe. It actually comes back down and lands in concentrations on our lands and on our water. And so that's just a matter of fact, what's happening, sadly. And so we are becoming more toxic inside our bodies than we ever were before, which is contributing to our poor health. And one of the places where we're seeing that pollution land is on our fruits and vegetables. So you can see pesticides there, but also just pollutants. And we are also putting like man-made things into our food to preserve them so they'll last longer, right? But the other thing is, up here, there's a whole lot less nutrition in food today. And that is a big problem, because if you look at an apple, like this apple here, you can see all this tiny print of all the different little nutrients that are in an apple, including a tiny little bit of vitamin C, for example. But if you were to try and write out all these nutrients that were in an apple, they're about 10 or 12,000 nutrients, they think, which is crazy. I never learned that in school. This would go on for 20 some more pages. And we don't know obviously we don't know what most of those nutrients do. We don't have names for them. And so the ones that we know, like vitamin C, we'll pick up and put into a pill. And multivitamins might have 30 or 40 different things in them, but that's compared to 10 or 12,000 in an apple. So that's not going to do the same thing to our body that the whole food would do. So there's a saying that we're not vitamin deficient in America, we're whole food deficient, right? And even when we eat enough fruits and vegetables, we don't get as many nutrients, because so many of those nutrients come into the fruit or vegetable at the end of ripening, at the very end of ripening. And because of how we're picking things unripe, even organic produce, picking unripe and shipping and, boating and shipping and trucking to the site where it's actually sold, we are not getting as much nutrition because of that. And so the difference between tomato, maybe you pick ripe out of your own garden and you eat it right then, versus buying one from the store or leaving one on the counter for a few days before you eat it. It's just totally different. So that peak of ripeness is really where the best nutrition is from a fruit or vegetable. And we're supposed to be eating 9 to 13 servings a day of fruits and vegetables. If you're a man, the government says 12 to 13 servings a day. And if you're a woman, it's 9 to 10 servings a day. For my kids in my practice, 7 to 8 servings a day is what the kids are supposed to be doing. And we're all supposed to get 2/3 vegetables, 1/3 fruit. So if you're a guy, that's 8 servings of vegetables a day. And a serving's a serving. You can look it up, So this is the tough thing today, I think. And I think, Celine, you can pick up next. I will say this, that I was always searching for ways to make it easier for people to get their fruits and vegetables in and to get them ripe. And that's when I heard about Juice Plus, which Celine's going to tell you about, because she's the one that told me.
Yes, so Juice Plus is 30 whole foods in a capsule, or it comes into a chewable gummy for people. So I want you to think, of course, our whole motto is we want you to eat your fruits and vegetables. So Juice Plus is not a replacement, but what it is, it helps bridge that gap. Because I know, I have a customer right now, she's a vegetarian, but she still knew she wasn't getting the wide variety. So when you look at Juice Plus, you see a wide variety of colors. So you're getting kind of like the rainbow of colors. And I love this analogy that I heard from Dr. David Katz when he showed a multivitamin and compared it to an apple. He said that when you show up to a symphony and you hear them practicing and it sounds like noise, that's what a multivitamin is. But when the symphony starts and everything is in perfect proportions, that's what whole food does in your body. And I just love that analogy because it makes beautiful music, because your body's getting everything in the proper proportions. So when you look at Juice Plus, we have all of these different fruits and vegetables. And so I want you to think, when's the last time you had kale, that you had beets, you had parsley? And even if you eat those things, how many times have you had all of these in your system at one time? And I can tell you, being a mom of 2 kids and being as busy as we are, I know exactly what to do to be healthy. I'm actually a certified health coach on top of being a nurse. But I will tell you, it is really tough when you have kids and you're busy. And so for us, this was the perfect thing to bridge the gap. I have a wonderful teenager who's in college, and even though I know he's probably eating some bad things at college, I love the fact that for the past 15 years of his life, he's been getting 30 different whole foods in his system every day. And on top of it, we'll talk a little later, but he also does a shake that has 14 plants. So I just love the fact that we can flood our body with all these extra nutrients. And then all the berries in here, as you know, berries are really expensive. I just bought this teeny little thing of raspberries, and I paid $4 for this little container of raspberries. So, and I've never had bilberries or black currants, but in our Juice Plus Vineyard Blend, those are all included. Let me turn the next page, please. Thank you. And it's so funny, our company has something called the Tower Garden. And never did I think, as a nurse and being someone who's doing whole food in a capsule, that we would be offering something to grow your own fruits and vegetables. But there are people who love to garden. I was a person who had a total black thumb, so the thought of this was very daunting to me, but it was intriguing. So I went ahead and ordered one. And the minute my little son at the time saw it, he said, "Oh my gosh, Mom, this is going to be the biggest waste," because I've killed every one of his science fair projects, and we've always had to fudge all the data. So I'm really excited to say that I've grown on the Tower Garden. It's been almost a little over 8 years. And I love it because there's no dirt, and you actually, no weeding, and you can actually grow in your heels, and you can go out there when you're dressed up. It actually plugs in onto the back porch, and it uses 90% less water than gardening and 90% less space. And you're able to grow 20 different plants in the Tower Garden. And they actually did a study. Everything in Juice Plus is researched, and even with Tower Garden, the University of Mississippi did a study, and they took the best soil they could make, organic soil, and they grew kale in there, and they compared it to the kale that was grown in the Tower Garden, and it actually had the same nutrient content, except for the Tower Garden actually grew 30% more yield. So I love the fact that you can grow your own nutrient-dense produce on your porch. And if you live up north, there's actually grow lights. So I have lots of friends, when it's snowing outside, they're growing their own kale and lettuce inside their house. And those pictures are just amazing. So let's talk about the Juice Plus Complete Shakes. I absolutely love these. It is a whole food shake, very much different than anything else you'll see on the market. There's no whey protein. Everything in Juice Plus and all of our products are dairy-free, gluten-free, GMO-free, and vegan. And I love that this shake is a plant-based protein blend. It has the prebiotic fibers and the oligosaccharides. Sorry, I always get caught on that word. But what I love most is that it has a low glycemic index, which means when you take the shake, it actually goes out into your bloodstream very slowly, so you don't have these big blood sugar spikes and going down. So people that are diabetics can do our shakes because, again, it goes into their system very slowly. I used to be one of these people who used to do shakes and smoothies, and it would last me an hour. I can do this Juice Plus shake, and it lasts for a good 4 hours. So I can do it before I work out. My son's at college, and he's in a dorm, so I just give him a shaker cup. He puts 8 ounces of his almond milk in there, dumps the shake in there, and just shakes it up and drinks it. I do mine in the blender with a Vitamix. I love doing like half a banana, my almond milk, and sometimes I'll add a little bit of almond butter. But it tastes ridiculously good. That's all I can say. I've never had somebody not like the taste of these. It comes in chocolate and it comes in vanilla. And we can go on to the next slide. So when you do the shake on top of that trio blend, you're actually getting 45 whole foods per day. And I will tell you, this speaks volumes to me. Like I said, being a busy professional and having children and be able to flood their body with all these nutrients and knowing that they're getting this stuff every single day, no matter what my son is eating at college. I first heard about Juice Plus actually 15 years ago. At that time, my daughter was born with a lot of health problems. And for me, a friend of mine knew how much we were suffering. My daughter had eczema from head to toe. My daughter was allergic to milk, eggs, peanuts, couldn't have gluten, and we couldn't go anywhere that had perfume or chemicals. So you probably can imagine we were stuck at home. Literally one trip to Target, I'd be leaving within minutes because she would be broken out in hives from the smell of the dyes in the clothes. So we were kind of the family in a bubble. So I'm so glad that somebody told me about Juice Plus. I had taken my daughter to every doctor I knew at University of Florida, and pretty much everybody kept telling me the same things. Eczema is a chronic condition. The allergies are chronic. You just need to get used to having a sick child. And I am so glad that somebody cared enough about me to tell me about Juice Plus. Of course, we made other changes, but this was one of those catalysts to our health to be able to pour those fruits and vegetables in my baby at the time. And you can imagine I had this little baby wondering, is this safe? And I'm just so glad, one, that I knew it had no artificial coloring or flavorings in it. That was a big thing for me. And as soon as my daughter started on Juice Plus, and I had a son also, my son's now 18, but at that time he had asthma and was always on inhalers and Flonase and all those allergy medications. But I'm glad to say, fast forward 15 years, we've had no antibiotics in our household. We don't get sick anymore. We actually think it's really weird that people get sick. And I love the fact that I know every single day that my kids are building their immune system to hopefully fight off diseases and like cancer and all that kind of stuff. So Juice Plus is extremely unique. Like we said, on the bottle, I wish I had it in front of me. When you turn around the bottle, most, if you pick up vitamin C or multivitamin, you'll see a supplement label on the bottle. Juice Plus actually has a nutrition facts label. This is the same label as you have if you go to the grocery store and pick up a bag of carrots or some juice. It actually says nutrition facts because it's actually food and not a supplement. And that's really, really important. And on the bottle is an NSF certification. This is one of the most stringent international kind of certifications that proves that what we say is in the bottle is actually in there. They test it. And we also had an NSF Sport. And what this is one more test that shows that professional athletes can take this because it does not contain any contaminants or anything that will come up on a blood test to make them obviously disqualified for their sporting event. Clinical research, that's what Valerie and I love the most. The clinical research is what, obviously, as a nurse and a professional, that I look for before I ever put my daughter, who was so sick. It's got over 35 published clinical studies that show Juice Plus does what we say it does inside the body. And a lot of those studies show immune health and all different kinds of stuff it does. And we all know that fruits and vegetables do these things, but it's really neat to know that you can take the fruits and vegetables and juice them into a powder and put it into a capsule and know that those powder capsules are doing that in the body. And I know that Valerie would love to share. She's one of the physicians that I went to with my kids, and I'm the one that told her about Juice Plus. You're muted.
There we go. Sorry about that. So yeah, you know, it's funny because when I first heard about Juice Plus with Celine in the office with her kids who had been sick all the time and all of a sudden hadn't been there in a year, I, thought it was too good to be true, even though I was pretty open-minded. I, look at nutrition as really important, but as a doctor, I was taught to say, you just need to eat your fruits and vegetables and you'll get enough nutrition, right? Or take a multivitamin. That's the other thing that we're taught is just fine. But I was beginning to realize that wasn't really true. There were a lot of studies that were coming out that were showing the negative effects of multivitamins, which is a story in and of itself. But I thought personally that, I always first think of myself as a guinea pig, and I thought for myself, well, I'm pretty healthy. I eat well, I don't really need Juice Plus, but I got a couple of people at home that really probably need this, my husband and my daughter. So I thought, well, I'll just go along with the crowd and we'll experiment. But I really didn't feel like I was going to find anything because I felt pretty healthy. But what I found was that, and oh, by the way, I was super stressed at this time. I really didn't want another thing to do or another thing to think about. So I thought, well, we'll just try it. And there's these studies that back it up. I would not put it in my mouth if that wasn't the case. And literally in my mind, you guys, I thought, and after 4 months of this box, I'll just tell Celine, okay, well, it didn't do anything, so goodbye. And literally I was very, very skeptical. And so what I found was that I was pretty sure my husband was going to have changes, which he did in terms of his health with digestion and things that I'll let him tell you when you meet him. Our daughter actually had been chronically congested, and that went away in spite of everything I had tried to do before. I really just thought I didn't want to give her antibiotics all the time, and I thought she was just going to be congested all the time. But within 3 weeks or so of taking Juice Plus, we realized we weren't asking her to go blow her nose anymore at age 9. You know, she needed to still be told to go blow her nose instead of snorting and slurping. And I found that I all of a sudden had so much energy that I didn't realize I didn't have during the day. I thought I was fine. I just had a really stressful job, and you're supposed to feel tired and exhausted when you have a stressful job. And all of a sudden I wasn't feeling that anymore. And I wasn't having to drink coffee in the afternoon, and I was sleeping really well. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. I wonder if that's Juice Plus. And so, you know, we had occasion to go away for a few days and realized that since we forgot our Juice Plus, it actually was the Juice Plus. And then as time went by, we really realized we weren't getting sick near as often and those kinds of things. But what I really appreciate now, after taking Juice Plus for almost 13 years, just about every day, is that I found myself with colon cancer last summer, devastating diagnosis, really, colon cancer, that ran through my family, and I was kind of ignoring that fact. I had turned 50 a couple months before and was planning to do that screening I was supposed to be doing. But even though this was super large tumor that I had no spread to any of the lymph nodes, in spite of it breaking through the lining of my colon and everything. It could have been awful. And I know the science very well on Juice Plus, these 36 studies that they have now. And the immune system studies are really strong. And your immune system doesn't just stop you from getting sick, it stops cells from spreading that aren't supposed to be in your body. So I know for a fact, for me, that had I not been taking Juice Plus all that time, my immune system probably wouldn't have protected me for that 5 or so years that tumor was growing, kept it from spreading. So I'm not saying that that's going to happen for everybody. And we would never promise anything like that. But for me, that's my story. And so what I really find is so exciting, though, is how it helps my patients and their families, and how I could sit here for 2 hours probably and tell you stories about that, but I don't have to, because that research is there, and that's what I appreciate the most. So we want to just turn and watch a video real quick. It's about 2 minutes. I'm going to turn it up really loud, so turn up your volume real loud so you can hear it, and then we'll come back. Okay?
Sounds good.
Raw, fine ripened fruits and vegetables in a capsule or a gummy.
Can you hear it? Valerie, you're muted.
Not a problem.
There's shelves and shelves of product, and you don't even know what it is. If it's what's in the capsule or the tablet, you have no clue. These Plus, you know. People want to know. People want to feel better. And they want something simple and doable and easy. And, you know, we get so tired of all these diets and lifestyle plans that are so complicated with pages and pages you have to follow. And this is easy.
You know, life is just crazy, busy, fast-paced world now, and so it's just nice to have an answer like Juice Plus where we can get something that's convenient and simple, because so many times we're just looking for a really fast fix and it can get much faster than capsules and soft chews and getting it down quickly. So you don't have to worry about your kids not liking the taste, because there's no taste. You just swallow a capsule. So you don't have to worry about how am I going to prepare this or hide it or be all clever. It's just like, take your Juice Plus.
The fact that it's an easy, simple way for me to get this in my body every single day without thinking about it.
I don't know how much simpler it could get that they actually did the work for us, and I don't have to juice.
I don't always have time to chop and dice and slice and clean and all of that. So Juice Plus is a lifesaver. Where can you go in life and get that? I go to bed every night and go, thank you.
Sorry, guys, that was kind of hard to hear. We've tried to get that video to play a little bit clearer. So you saw a little bit of video about what Juice Plus is, and you heard Dr. Miles talking about the research. And I want to say to you guys, where do you see yourself getting started? A lot of people sometimes just want to start. Most people start in the middle right there. They start on the trio. Sometimes people just want to start on the shakes because they just want to have that meal replacement, that shake to take every day. And for me, I substitute breakfast with that shake. And Valerie, I can't see the graphic.
One sec.
That's okay. The fun of technology.
Yes, there we go.
Don't worry. There you go. So there's the trio in the middle. The trio means the fruit, the vegetable, and the vineyard blend. And then we have the shakes there off to the left. And then we'll talk a little bit about Shred. But what the Shred 10 is a 10-day challenge. And it's where you replace 2 meals per day with the shake. And then you take the trio every day. And I will tell you, we've been doing this Shred 10 since January, and we've seen so many great changes in my friends and my family. And for the past year, we used to do a 30-day challenge where we did no gluten, no dairy, no alcohol, and no processed food for 30 days. So 10 days is a lot easier. And it's just amazing to think in 10 days you could see so many changes. But it is amazing when you start flooding your body with nutrients it's never had before. And people do. They start feeling better when it comes to energy, and they sleep a lot better. And those are definitely 2 things I think that's on the top of the list for most people to feel better. Go to the next slide. Our company loves children. Juice Plus is actually free for any child ages 4 through full-time college student. Yes, it's free, and they get it free for an entire 4 years. The only thing is one adult needs to be a customer on Juice Plus, and they agree to fill out a survey once every 4 months about their health and the children's health. And what I love about this is the kids, this is some of the results that the parents report about the children. 89% were more aware of their health. 56% were taking fewer over-the-counter or prescription drugs. 60% were missing fewer days of school. Thank goodness, I remember those days. And 66% were visiting the doctor less, which I find for Dr. Miles being a pediatrician, it's nice to see pediatricians that are actually caring about their kids getting healthier in their practice. And so we can go on to the next slide. And Valerie, do you have anything to add about the Children's Health Study?
Well, I love the Children's Health Study because it's so great to get something for free. And I find a lot of times parents think, well, I'll just put my child on Juice Plus, not realizing the things that I realized after I started taking it, that I actually could be healthier as a parent and have more energy for my kids and have more long-term health for my kids, So that's what I love about it. And I love that this is statistics after only 1 year, where you can get your child's Juice Plus up to 4 years for free. And all of these statistics keep going higher every year on the screens like this when they show the statistics. So it gets better and better the longer you take it.
Yes. And that's one thing. I actually, when Dr. Miles first started recommending Juice Plus in her practice, I was what they call her wellness coordinator. So I'd call her parents and the patients, and it'd be so funny sometimes because I'd have parents call me going, something's really weird. I'm like, what? My kid wants a salad at 8 o'clock at night. And it's just amazing to see that once the body starts getting these nutrients, the kids' bodies, without them even knowing, they start craving more. Just like if you were to give them lots of sugary and fatty things, they'll crave more. But the kids actually start to crave vegetables, which is awesome. So we are part of the healthy living community. We're more than just a product. We're actually a community of people who are very committed to healthy living. So we have our own cookbook that has over 200 recipes that we have tried ourselves and have tested on our family and children. And they're good recipes, trust me. Even though they're very healthy, they're things that are tasty. We also have a children's program. There is an online book that has activities for your child to learn more about healthy living, because we feel like if you start incorporating this stuff in your children at an early age, that they'll go on having good, healthy habits. We also have a Facebook group that is a great group that's positive all the time. It's fun, it's motivational, and people put recipes up there, and we just share healthy living kind of articles that inspire you and motivate you to keep on your health journey. And then we do live events like what you're seeing tonight. We, I guess it's called a live online event, but we also do live events in person. So last Sunday we had Valerie came into my house, and we had a bunch of people over here to do the Taste of the Shred. And what we did was we made recipes out of that book and had people sample them. And I will tell you, there was a little girl here, and she'd never had lentil soup before, but she absolutely loved it, to the point her mom's still trying to get the recipe from me today. So it's really neat that her daughter came and was sampling food that was all healthy, whole food, and she loved it. And so that's what we're all about, is this inspiring healthy living. So I know everybody here came here. Everybody's got their own health challenges in life, and that is something that makes us all individuals. And I want you guys to think about what you learned today, because I always say everything in life is all about choices. And I love that I chose to align myself with this company. When I first started doing Juice Plus and I saw that my kids were getting so healthy, one, everybody around me was noticing that my kids were healthy, including Dr. Miles. And it was natural for me to share Juice Plus with other people. I had no idea of ever having a business. I will tell you, I'm the most anti-business person you'd ever meet. I was that woman that would never let Pampered Chef to my house, never let Mary Kay parties. I just had a negative, really negative view of home-based businesses. So when I found out that Juice Plus was a home-based business, at first I was like, no. But I will tell you, everything that I thought was true wasn't true. Over the past 15 years, I've been very happy in this career. I left and retired from nursing at a very young age, and I love that I get to still nurse out in the community, but help people with their health. I just told somebody today, I feel like with Juice Plus, I've helped more people outside the hospital than I ever did inside the hospital. I felt like the hospital was more sick care than it was health care and prevention. And it is really mind-boggling to see fruits and vegetables really do matter. And I'm really excited that I've not only been able to share with people that are in the healthcare field, but I've shared with regular people that have jobs that are looking for a way to get home with their family or just have an extra $500 a month to spend putting their kid in activities. I just saw a mom today on Facebook that said that she has no money to put her daughter in dance because she can't afford the shoes, she can't afford the recitals and all the dresses. And that really hurts my heart because we all want to give our kids opportunities. And I feel like this business has provided a really awesome opportunity for my family. I went through a divorce that I wasn't expecting. And I don't know how many single moms get to still stay home with their kids. I've never missed a homeroom meeting. I've never missed a party. I've never missed a sporting event. I'm actually home with my kids and was able to continue that even after going through a divorce. I do this business full time, and it's really been my passion to inspire other people to own their own business and be an entrepreneur. And Valerie, would you mind sharing with us why, as a pediatrician, that you decided to join me in my business?
Well, at first I certainly didn't want to. Celine will tell you. But I knew that after I'd read the research and had my family experiment that I told you about, that I was going to be kind of seeing what it would do for my patients and sharing it with my family, my extended family and my friends, just with the heart of being interested in seeing how Juice Plus helped people get healthier. And it really was this ripple effect after that. So I knew I'd be recommending it. And there's a program with the company that's called the Wellness Coordinator. And Celine was able to do that for me to help me as a busy professional. So what I didn't really expect was, as I had so much fun doing the things that we were describing, that I had an income that was building along the side that ended up for us in our family being a safety net at the time that the stock market crashed. At that time, my husband lost his job. Half our income was gone in one day. All of our benefits were gone in one day, and the carpet was literally pulled out from under us because we really were a team before that in terms of our finances. And if I hadn't been having fun for a few years on the side, doing this Juice Plus thing and just, helping other people get healthy, I really don't know what we would have done. It helped us not lose our house, not lose our cars, not have to move, not have to actually, in the end, have my husband go back to work because he decided to stay home and work the Juice Plus business, take over the Wellness Coordinator and all of that. So it literally saved us in a very desperate financial time. And after that happened and we lost our benefits, I realized that I was not paying any attention to the fact that just 2 more levels up in the company was the full benefits package that the company offers, which is full health insurance, life insurance, disability, vision care, dental care. I mean, you name it. They actually are adding things on when most companies now are taking benefits away. And we were able to reach that point in 18 months. And it was just this huge sense of relief. Our daughter's in college now, and there's a tuition reimbursement piece that goes along with that benefits package. It's just amazing. So for us, even though I still run my practice like I have for 16 years and I work hard in that and I love it, I will do this on the side forever because it's allowed us to have that and allowed us a way to realize dreams that in terms of building a retirement income, even we weren't able to do with just what we were doing even before the crash. So that's what I love about it. And, you can do a little or a lot. You can just share with your family, or you can have it become, we know people that are earning millions of dollars a year in this company because it's been around for 40 some years. And people have a lot of longevity, but we really kind of get excited about people earning $300 to $500 or $1,000 a month, because that can literally change lives. And so if you're one of those people that's interested in that, definitely let us know. And I'll hand it back to you, Celine.
Yeah, so I always tell people life's all about choices. I tell my kids that every single day. But today, I hope that something you learned tonight resonates with you. And, you can do choice A, you can change nothing and continue where you've been going with your health, which is totally fine with us. We love to share this information. And if you find this information helpful and you know somebody, please invite them to our next event. And then the second choice is we'd love for you to add Juice Plus to your diet. We want to see you get healthy and make changes because like us, we never knew. We thought we were very healthy, but you don't know how healthy you are until you actually start flooding your body. You notice, oh my gosh, I'm 45 years old and I have more energy than a lot of the 20-year-olds. And then the third choice, we would love for you to join our mission. Valerie and I are only 2 people, and I think everybody, especially in this country, needs to learn about Juice Plus and learn about what fruits and vegetables does to help them. And then the healthy living community, I think that's for everyone, just to help improve their health. So we love that you guys took the time tonight to join us. And please get in touch with the person that invited you if this is something that you would like to do or something you'd like to add to your diet, because I know it's something that this person that invited you tonight, they care about you. And I tell some people, it's not easy to invite people to a call, but that person cared enough about you to go on a limb and invite you tonight. So thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you guys all have a great evening. Thank you, Valerie.
Bye, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night.